What's going on? It's Big A the Mad Geek, and it's been another crazy week in the hashtag known as Comicsgate. Now, I probably don't have to tell you as to what Comicsgate is, as to how it came about. Maybe I'll do another video explaining all that further down the line. Essentially, it's just a way of people stating their grievances with comic books at the moment in the form of a hashtag. It's just some people happen to have a few of the same opinions. Everyone doesn't necessarily agree on exactly the same points, but kind of the message is clear, is that there are some things that aren't really cool, like in comics at the moment. They've become extremely political, like almost activist pieces, so to speak, and it's a bit of a weird position for a company as big as Marvel to take. I mean, I'd kind of more expect that stuff from an indie, and I think I'd be perfectly fine for that because that's someone else's personal kind of creation. But trying to turn Marvel comics into activist comics, that's like a bit odd to me. Not all the titles, just some of the titles just appear that way and appear to be written by people who are ideologues, and people don't really dig that. So the fact that, you know, they're using a hashtag to state their grievances, that's like fine to me. That's completely fine to do. However, Twitter it's a battleground. I'm not sure as to how or when it got like that, but it is an absolute battleground. All people ever want to do on there is fight. They actually never really want to talk. Everyone wants to prove that they're right. I say everyone, I mean a lot of people. It's, in terms of social media, it's kind of one of the worst places, I'd say, because everything is so heated. And I do feel kind of bad for like big companies, because it's a double-edged sword. So they can promote things, their products and services, but then on the flip side of that, the customer is right there. So if the customer has any beef of any kind, the company will get so scared of people seeing that tweet that they will buckle under the pressure almost instantly, because they don't want any beef coming their way. So yeah, Twitter's a very kind of heated place. So with something like Comicsgate, someone who sees the word Comicsgate and is aware as to, well, I say aware as to what Gamergate is, they have an idea as to what they think Gamergate is or was about, and they have a harassment in their heads. And so they will go into the tag and essentially antagonize people. Like, I'd seen one person spend days trying to antagonize people and labeling people certain things when they're not necessarily those things. And they got a bit of a clapback. And, you know, the clapback that they got, it was pretty funny. I mean, I'm not going to say as to what it was, but it was on the funny side, because it was like that kind of ironic humor, and they didn't like that, and then they got angry by it, and then they felt justified. So it was kind of like a cry bully tactic. Essentially, people like this, I like to call them pilot fish. So it's the small fish that hang around like the big fish, like a shark, and they have kind of like a symbiotic relationship. So right now you've got the pilot fish coming in, trying to take pieces of Comicsgate and label Comicsgate a certain thing, Comicsgate a certain thing. And I don't know as to whether they're successful or not, but that's what they like to go around and do, because on Twitter people like to fight and have a battle, and that's what's currently happening in the hashtag at the moment with certain kind of prominent pilot fish. There's people, they don't even want to know as to what your opinions are. They just want to take the moral high ground. That's all it is. There was one gentleman, I say gentle, well yeah, he was quite gentlemanly, although he did essentially say I was beneath him, who didn't want to speak to me in any way, shape or form. They kind of almost wanted to, but then I was like, yo, just have a look at my Twitter. There's nothing bad on my Twitter. So they had to find a way to not speak to me and to justify a way not to speak to me. So when they saw that I'd retweeted something diversity in comics and tweeted, they were like, oh, well, you promote Richard, so I'm not gonna converse with you. And it's all this kind of guilt by association, moral high ground nonsense that these pilot fish like to do. They don't want to actually tackle the argument. Instead, they'd rather label you something and say how they've got the moral high ground and that they're so much better than you. I mean, I'm not going to big myself up or anything, but I consider myself a pretty decent human being. And I'm not a decent human being because I go around taking other people down and taking people out of context and standing in front of them and going, I'm morally superior to you. That's not what I do. I just do good actions. Like, I just treat people with respect pretty much in the real world, and even mostly online as well. Like, I don't think it's ever got heated with me online between someone else, but with other people I can tell that they're quite heated because I'm kind of like kind of chill about the whole thing. Like, I spent an entire day like speaking to someone and they're trying to get me to defend someone else's words. I can't defend someone else's words. If someone says something in a mean way and there's criticism there, I'll go, yeah, they said it in a mean way. But there's still criticism there. And they refuse to acknowledge that, and it infuriated. They spent pretty much an entire day like trying to get me to defend someone else's argument. I can't defend someone else's words. I can only defend my words. And they wouldn't even stop to ask me what my beef was, what my points were, where I was coming from. It was all this, you're a troll because guilt by association nonsense. And that's all they've got. They haven't got any real dirt on anyone. And it's just weird to see. It's like people are creating the world that they want to see so they can have something to fight against. And it's just like, if you just stopped for a second, you'd realize that we're all on the same page. But whether they're SJWs or not, I don't even really care, to be honest. But for them, you are a troll. You're a troll because you have the wrong opinions. You're a troll because you decided to speak your mind. You're a troll because they want something to fight against. You're a troll because you may have the wrong politics. You're a troll because you're a nerd. You're just a troll. So no matter what you say to these people, whether you justify your position or not, which I hope you are doing, I hope you are justifying your arguments and backing them up, because that is important. But whether you're doing that or not, you'll always be a troll to them. Nothing can like turn these people's minds around otherwise. Nothing at all. So you are a troll. Kind of accept it and move past it. And what I mean by that is stay on point. Essentially ignore the you're a troll stuff, because that's just really crappy bait to get you to argue with them. And they just love calling everyone trolls anyway. So it's better to just ignore it and just go, yeah, whatever, and remain on point. I mean, it's a weird tag at the moment. It's all right, but like I said, everyone just stay on point. Like me personally, like I said, my Twitter is chill. It's no biggie or anything. In my opinion, Comicsgate to me is just, I want diverse characters in my comics. I want them to be written well. And I don't really want them to be written by complete ideologues. I don't mind like political or social allegories for things, that's fine, but just leave the complete ideologues out of it, because it tends to make the writing really bad, in my opinion, from what I've seen. So that's where I stand on things in Comicsgate. Like that's kind of like, I should really tweet that as tweet it as a tweet, #Comicsgate, and but I haven't done so yet. But that's where I stand on the whole thing. And I think those 5 points, there's nothing kind of, I don't know if it was exactly 5, but those points, there's nothing kind of crazy about it. And that's what my message is, and that's what I am going to tell people, if they ever want to hear it, which none of them really have, because they've all been expecting me to defend the words of other people, which is nuts. But anyway, rambling as usual. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and share share as well. Sharing is important. Sharing is caring. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one.